He's telling me that he had got a call from an agent who had a buyer that wanted to purchase one of the houses that he's listing. And in that situation, the buyer's agent had asked a bunch of questions about the property and then asked, what's the seller's deal on paying commissions for the buyer's agent? And the listing agent said, listen, I can't tell you what the seller's going to do, but make an offer. The seller's really motivated. If the deal's right, I'm sure, they'll do something. I mean, just make a good offer. And so he gets the offer on the house, and now he knows that the buyer's agent had told him that the buyer doesn't really have money to pay the agent, but when he gets the contract, there's nothing in there about paying the agent. And clearly, the buyer's agent either didn't missed it, forgot it, or just didn't know how to fill out the contract. And he's talking to me about it, and he's telling me like about this whole situation. And I was like, well, how did this ultimately, what's going to happen here? Because at some point during the process, a week, 2 weeks, I don't know, 3 weeks into it, the buyer's agent's going to realize that there's no commission coming his way because that wasn't part of the contract. And he said the buyer didn't have money, so who knows what that is? Obviously, neither one of us have ever spoken to the buyer, so we don't know the situation. The listing agent said, well, technically it's my responsibility to protect the seller. I represent the seller. I mean, I'm going to go to the seller and explain to them what's going on and let them decide because it's their money. I mean, if they were just hardcore business people, they would accept the contract and that agent would have to collect their commissions elsewhere because it's not part of the deal. But in this case, after he explained it to the seller said, listen, we had thought we were going to pay this. Why don't you point it out to them? We don't want to have any issues late in the deal. And, the agent's expecting something to the fact that they didn't know how to fill out the paperwork correctly, or they didn't ask for it, or they missed it. We're not going to let's just treat this situation like straight up because we knew we might have to pay that, and we're not going to take advantage of the situation because the paperwork's wrong.